moved in the Spirit of the Lord. Renewed in the Spirit of the Lord. I lift my thoughts.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm of Italian descent, so if I don't speak with my hands, we won't get anything going here, so I have to do this. Sorry if that offends any of you who are Italian. It just makes me giggle. I'm very happy to be speaking about the power of faith. And faith took on a whole new meaning for me as I started to become acquainted with what unity has to say about it. So faith is defined as unshakable belief in something, especially without proof or evidence. And faith as defined by Unity's co-founder, Charles Fillmore, in The Revealing Word is as follows. The perceiving power of the mind linked with the power to shape substance. Spiritual assurance, the power to do the seemingly impossible, seemingly. A deep inner knowing that that which is sought is already ours for the asking. Or from Hebrews 11, the assurance of things hoped for. But as we read this quote from Charles, two things start to become abundantly clear. The first is, faith holds great power. For what is seemingly impossible, with faith, is attainable. And the second, the vehicle to unlock this great power of faith is our mind, our own mind. So everybody has one. So those who are struggling with faith today, be assured that if you have your mind, you can grow in faith. We have everything we need at our disposal. The mind has tremendous power to shape our future. And if we ask rightly for it, or affirm it is so, the thing that we want, it is ours already. Right in the midst of the asking and the affirming. Right in the midst, it is ours, right then. So we can call up that deep feeling of being absolutely sure about it as we ask, or as probably you're more accustomed to, affirming in the New Thought communities, yeah? So by correctly using our mind, we're able to unleash this great power in our lives. No one needs to do it for us. It's done by us, through us, and as us. And we as inhabitants of planet Earth have been conditioned, trained from a very young age to place our faith, that is our unshakable belief, in what? In things that we experience with our senses. If we can see it, if we can touch it, if we can hear from it, if we can speak to it, we believe. After all, it's right there. We can touch it. We can validate it with our trusty senses. And our senses have never let us down, right? Who amongst us has not put our faith in that job that we believe pays our bills? Or in that relationship that brings us comfort and joy? Or in the money we've accrued over a lifetime's work? Or in a church where we feel a sense of comfort and welcoming, maybe like we've never known before. And what's wrong with any of this? I heard you all share today. It's wonderful. Not all Unity churches do that. And I think that's just tremendous that you share your joys. You're getting a lot out of this place, and that's terrific. You can feel it. You can feel it come off you as I sit up here. What's wrong? Well, fundamentally, there's nothing wrong with any of that. There's nothing wrong. We all get to choose what we place our faith in. So therefore, this faculty of faith has with it this notion of co-creation. We get to direct that. By placing our faith, though, in temporal or impermanent things, we will be unable to experience a lasting or permanent sense of joy. Placing our faith in these things at some time or another will bring with it a sense of disappointment, a letdown, sadness, grief, or what have you. By placing our faith in impermanence or relative truths, or what I like to call the facts of the day, we don't get to experience the amazing power of faith when it's placed in things like divine ideas, universal truths, divine law, and those things that by their very definition can never leave or forsake us. Those things that are the same day after day, year after year, lifetime after lifetime, and have attached to them a deep and unbending sense of joy. And I know you all know the type of joy that I'm speaking of. It's not happiness or like eating an ice cream. That type of happiness, although, and I like to tell the story that the cruel joke that the universe played on me is last year I had become like allergic. I started to develop an allergic reaction to ice cream, but I digress. Curses. But isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting that the real powerful things in the universe are those things that we cannot validate with our five senses? Wouldn't it be a lot easier to grasp if what holds all the power are those things we can experience with the senses? But we know it doesn't work that way. The definition of faith that we explored just a short while ago says that faith has to do with believing even without proof or hard evidence or seeing it. Well, if we believe the only way there is to see is with our physical eyes, then maybe. But there's another way to see. And that is where we meet God, the divine, in meditation, in the silence. And it's there that we hear with our mind's ear and we see with our mind's eye. We get a glimpse of what's really out there and around us at all times when we allow our personal mind to become in alignment with divine mind. It's in this state of consciousness that the joy is pronounced. The feelings of lightness and connection are unlike any we have felt before. In the silence, we prepare for the answers to questions that we build on over time, to direct our life, to live out our divine plan as children of the Most High, of those made in the image and likeness of God. And it's there, it's right there, that we understand, regardless of the temporal circumstances of our life or those facts of the day, God is unable to ever leave us. We believe, most of us I'm sure believe, in Unity's first principle, and I paraphrase, that God is everywhere present, all-powerful. If God is everywhere present, then He's in us. What is there to fear? What is there? And if God is all good, then all is good. Regardless of what it looks like on the surface, all is well. Always.